They tell us to keep our heads down. They tell us to switch on hustle mode. They tell us to lean in and secure the bag by any means necessary. They say these are the keys to success. And where does it really get us? I've seen it firsthand in the faces of so many I've personally worked with. I've been her firsthand while building a $50 million firm. This path can bring in the bands, but it will also leave you burnt out, tapped out, and selling out on what your soul was sent here to experience. There is a better way. It's the reason why I can stand here after building an 8-figure business while still connecting to my spirit, elevating my health, deeply enjoying my marriage, and remaining present in my family. It's not magic. It's not a trick. It's not even a secret. It's a power that's already living within you. And I'm about to tell you exactly how to remember who you are. Exhale. Feel inspired. Because after today, you're officially a part of the sacred space. Hey, hey. My team and I are trying something new today on our Thursday. I know we're normally in our community, but now we are streaming on, I think, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all the things. So I know that this does not look like the beautiful Bali. I'm supposed to be in Bali right now. And if you guys saw my post in my stories a couple of days ago, then you know just kind of what happened at the airport. I showed up about 3 hours before it was time for me to check in and board. Well, not board, but like check in and do all the things, passport stuff. And at the counter, they just basically stopped me on Qatar and said, my passport was 4 days, not expired, but at the 6-month mark, which does not allow you to leave out of the country and go into certain countries. So I guess Indonesia was one of those. So look, I stood there. It's a line of people. Of course, I got to move out of the way and like let other people check in. And so many emotions just kind of started running through me. And I'll get into that story in a bit. But if you are new here, my name is Nekeya. I am the Savage Spiritualist. I am deeply just kind of honored to be living my life in 3D and using it to kind of help the women in, my tribe kind of navigate all the shit that they deal with day to day. Because, we always say that it is not embodied if you are not, you kind of exercising it and utilizing it. Hold on one second, y'all. We're trying this new thing, so I'm getting all these text messages. Okay. So, yeah. So what do you do? So one of the things that have been coming up in a lot of the questions that I've been getting is, okay, I get this spiritual mindset stuff, right? Thinking, vibrations, frequency, kind of elevating your thoughts and all the things. But how do you incorporate that shit, Nekeya, when the shit is hitting the fan and you're in the moment of it and you are feeling all the feels and you feel justified to literally snap, crackle, and pop, or crash out, as my son calls it. Because in my case, you have, this was supposed to kind of be taken care of. You thought it was. I mean, it's a million things that's happening. I am a mom of 2 kids. My son is 10. My daughter is 6. She is in ballet. He is in football. I'm running between both. I'm a wife. I run 3 brands, 3 businesses. So, you delegate things and you expect that things are going to be taken care of. And then sometimes they are and sometimes they are not. And then it's consequences when they are not. So I'm standing in front of the flight folks at Qatar and I'm saying, you got to be kidding. And they're like, no, straight face, dead ass. Like, no, your passport is 4 days past the date of 6 months because it doesn't expire technically until like January into December, something like that. But you can't fly. But here's a number to get an expedited 1-day passport. Mind you, it's 3:00 in Miami. So that office is closed. So I'm on the phone with my team. They're looking. They basically tell me the only office that has an expedited next day, I needed to be in Bali by Friday. So this would have been Monday night. I would have been leaving at about 8:00. So it's 26 hours on the other side of the world. So that would have already been putting me landing at about Wednesday. I wanted to spend a couple of days, like Thursday and Friday, by myself and just kind of relax in a really amazing villa. And then I was going to meet one of my coach and girlfriends for 2 days. And we were going to just kind of do some real deep kind of immersive work in Bali. That was the plan. So not only did this kind of inconvenience me, it inconvenienced her, which also made me feel really, shitty, because it's like she's coming from New Zealand, I'm coming from the US, and this happened. So they tell me that the only city, and Sugar has a sense of humor, right? That has a next day, early morning, same day, like expedited passport, is in Hawaii. 14 hours one way to hopefully get an appointment, to expedite my passport, to get the new passport, to then go 26 hours to the other side of the world. So when you are in these moments, I wanted to like really give you like what I was going through, because we are always in these kind of moments. And this is the perfect opportunity for us to be her, be that version of you who you say is calm under pressure, who doesn't go right into my emotions and start crying and like, oh my God, why is this happening? And being angry, but control how I'm feeling, monitoring the shit that's coming up in my mind, and really looking at all this like one big movie that's playing out. As my coach, Nikki, would say, like, you got to start looking at life like a movie. Like, instead of going up trying to mess with the screen and change the movie, that movie's already filmed. It's already being projected. You have to project or change the movie in the mind so that the new projection is going to be what you desire. So in that moment, I had a lot of decisions that were coming at me really fast. I wanted to be pissed off. I felt anger. I felt frustration. I felt embarrassed. Like, who doesn't check to make sure that their passport is all good before they're about to go on the other side of the world, out of the country? Me. I mean, I guess, because, normally I just, people say they're going to do it. They do it. And I don't even know why I didn't think like, yeah, but the one in my hand was not a new one. Like, they got to give you an actual new one. I mean, none of that was crossing my mind up until I got to that point. But this is what I said. I told the lady, give me a second. I'm going to go. I'm going to sit down. They had some little chairs right here. So I went and sat in the chairs. And you know what I did? I pulled up what I keep in my phone all the time, in my notes. I pulled up what I call my GIVE, Give, my grandest imaginable version embodied. Who am I at my grandest imaginable version? How does she respond in this exact scenario? Now, the people who are working behind the counter, this is not their fault. So me being a bitch to them or catching an attitude with them does not serve me in any way. And it also makes their day bad. So that's not at all what I wanted to do. But I also wanted to go to Bali. Like, I had this all planned out. I had already imagined it. It felt really good. But then I saw a line in my GIVE that says, she is a woman who believes that every scenario is always working out for her highest self. Even in the moment, if it feels like this version of me is suffering in some way, the woman that I am being daily is going to thrive because of this event. Now, when you are going through the shit, it can be difficult to grab that belief and hold on to it. But when will you do it? Because I could have, went to what the natural reaction probably could have been, but that is not the woman that I desire to be. That's not the woman I want to be and move. I want to be love. I want to be light. I want to move with understanding. And me yelling at those people, and I want to speak to the supervisor, and I want to, that was not how the grandest imaginable version of myself responds when there's a crisis. So what did I do? I said, okay, well, I'm going to go home. I got a ticket and I went home. And when I went home, I cuddled up under my babies. I loved on my babies. I played. I did my daughter's hair. I got her ready for ballet. My son's knee was hurting. I was able to take him to the orthopedic. Like, I got to do things that I wouldn't have been available to do. Last night, I stayed up very, very late working on some things with my team. I got some things done. I was able to do payroll. Like, I was able to do a lot of things that I probably would not have done. And right now it's 7:00 p.m. in the States. It would have been 7 a.m. In Bali. And I'm so not a morning person. So I would love for you to start thinking about your life and shit that's going on right now that you believe, one, is out of your control. Two, you feel like you're a victim to it. You don't feel like you deserve it. You don't feel like it's fair. You don't feel like you're getting the best end of like the stick on this deal. And ask yourself, one, how am I responding? Am I looking at what's going on and I'm crashing out? I'm mad, I'm crying, I'm depressed. It's affected my health. Or ask yourself, how would I like to respond in these type of scenarios? How would the grandest imaginable version of myself show up when he or she is faced with the shit I'm dealing with right now? Because until you and me and everybody like start taking control of the stuff that you face with and realizing that I get to choose how I'm going to respond, if I choose to respond, the power is within me. It feels very, very difficult. You always feel like life is just fucking you over. Like it's knocking you to and fro. I can never get a break. Shit always hard. If you find yourself talking like that a lot, it is because you are looking at what's going on in your life and you are literally just letting it decide how you're going to feel. It's knocking your ass back and forth, to and fro. And you feel like you have no power to do anything different. But if you just take a moment to decide that I'm looking at this different, how would my best self, you people say like the best self I could imagine me being, how does she act when things aren't working out? Because you have, until you embody that, and that becomes your default programming. So you go to that way of being just naturally, then it's not embodied. So the more you choose it, the more you choose a way to respond or not respond, the more you choose a way to react or not react, this starts to I call it like repave the foundation of who you want to operate as in the world. And I'm going to tell you, I run a lot of high energy, high intense businesses. And for years, while scaling my business to an 8-figure brand, I let it beat the hell out of me. It was, I didn't feel like I had any control. I didn't feel like, God was helping me in any way. And it felt very hard. And then about 5 years ago, when the Savage Spiritualist brand was born, this is really my digital diary of me remembering who I came here to be in this world and taking you along with me and sharing this with women who have earned the degrees, scaled the businesses, moved up the corporate ladders, built the houses, got the cars, the husbands, the wives, the babies, the bags, or whatever. But you are still saying it has to be more than this. Life feels hard. I don't really feel in control. So standing at that ticket counter, I just decided I got to surrender. Look, there's nothing more I can physically do in this situation. So when you're in a situation where you have tried every way to make it work, you have tried every tactic your little human mind know how to use, from manipulating to begging to crying to praying to whatever, and it is not changing, that is your cue to just surrender into the flow of the shit and say, okay, well, what else can I do except just flow? Just flow. And then it will, in due time, make itself known that nothing was happening to you. It was always happening for you. So I literally started laughing. Shit, this is crazy. Like, oh my God. Like the laugh almost to keep from like crying. I felt tears welled up in my eyes. My chest felt like, and I went and sat down and I said, this is crazy. And I started laughing and not one tear fell. But there was a time, let's just say 5, 6 years ago, that I would have been boohoo bawling, pissed off, mad at everybody who I felt was responsible for that playing out the way that it played out, snapping on the people at the counter, crashing out, hyperventilating, heart rate up, all the crazy, and still wouldn't have got the passport and still wouldn't have been able to go to Bali, because that doesn't change the circumstances because you choose to throw a tantrum or feel like you're powerless in that scenario. So one of the soul works that I kind of give the folks in our tribe is, let's look at areas where you throwing tantrums at because you don't feel like you have any power to change the situation. What about the job that you clock in on that you don't like, that you ain't liked for 10 years, but you still go? Because there's a story that you tell yourself that I need my job. I've been here all this time. I might as well stay. Ain't no jobs right now. All of those stories are usually based in some kind of fear. They're really not true ever. Like, what relationships are you holding on to that no longer feel like they are serving you? Like they feel hard. They feel like stress in order to even stay connected to them. Like I journal everything. I always journal, because when I write things down, it might be a month or two later, I might go pick up that journal and open it and be like, oh, wow, it's like a new aha moment for me, that this is what I said. This is who I said I wanted to be. This is who I said I wanted to show up as in the world. Now, listen to me, my melanated beauties, because I know in the world, in the media, in the news, listening to all the conditioning of how bad it is and all the things. My sister-in-law was telling me today that they just cut some program, and I don't usually watch the news, so I have no idea what program was cut, what was going on. But I said, okay, well, it is what it is. All is where it should be. Because if I allow every time something changes, every time the media, push something out that I believe will deeply affect me or people that I love, and I spiral, how is that serving you? So what areas are you spiraling in? What areas do you feel are out of your control? Because you have to get this part right. The embodiment of that grandest imaginable version of you who can handle this stuff without breaking a sweat, without your heart rate going up and your blood pressure going sky high, and you ended up, jacked up in emergency room or something because you thinking you having a damn heart attack and it's an anxiety attack. That was me. All of these things I've lived through. I've done them. And so I've had to create ways to embody her, that grandest me who can handle these things. Because some of the things that you are praying for, some of the things that you are affirming, some of the things that you are writing on your vision board or writing in your journal and cutting out pictures on your vision board, in the event you get it, do you even have the capacity to hold it? Or is the very thing that you praying for going to be the thing that kill you because you're going to have a damn stroke, stressed out and worried about how it's all going to come together? So this is what I mean. Are you able to carry the very things that you saying that you want? Now, money is a big thing. It comes up all the time. It comes up in our community. We talk about it a lot. And people love to say, my millionaire self, $1 million, or making $1 million in my business. Let's just say you wake up tomorrow with $1 million in your bank account from your business or whatever. Like, what does that money have an assignment to even do? Because after you pay this and pay that and buy this and buy that, what is the real reason why we desire to have abundance and overflow in any area? Normally for me, when I think about when I was building my brand, I had these monetary numbers in my mind. And the reason I wanted to have this money is because they gave me a safety net against having to have faith. If I had money in my bank account and I could take care of myself, then I didn't have to have faith in something I didn't see and couldn't talk, whatever. I had faith in myself. And then you get the money and you acquire the things and you scale the businesses and you move up the corporate ladder and you close on the dream house and you drive in the dream car and you have the baby you always wanted. You're with the soulmate you always asked for. And you still have this feeling that is saying, it got to be more to life than this. In the Savage Suites and in our community, that is literally our call to action. That when you remember who you really are, and whose you really are, and you connect to that spirit piece that all of us have, that's a fractal of the big source energy, that's where total wholeness comes from. See, we chase the things and we chase the bags and we chase the money and we chase the bread and all the things because we believe that those things are attached to the feeling that we want to feel, to what our spirits really are here to do. I call it like my spirit work. Like I'm in my spirit's work now. I'm waking up every day and I'm moving towards the joy that what do I want to do today? What would I love to do? Like how do I want to move? Like I'm gonna get up in the morning. I walk my daughter to school. Like what would I like to do today? Or are you waking up every day choosing what you think you have to do today? Because you do believe that you can't do anything different. That the stars are aligned, the deck is fucking stacked, and you are always going to have to do the thing that you do not want to do. Because that is the definition of leading you towards anxiety, sadness, depression, and most of all, not feeling fulfilled. So if you are, I call it my aligned woman, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know that on your biggest sales day or sales month, that shit only felt good for a minute. And then you were on to the next goal. When you walked across that stage to graduate, you felt super excited. But what about a week later? It was on to the next goal. Now it was landing the big job. There's always going to be a to-do list. But wouldn't it be amazing if your to-do list was moved by what your spirit wanted to do? Who you wanted to be? How you wanted to show up in the world? I call it moving toward bliss. I looked up the definition of bliss and the word just kept coming up to me because joy didn't feel big enough and happiness didn't feel big enough. And so I started saying, I feel blissful. And so I just, I've heard the word before. And then I just said, let me look up the definition of bliss. And literally, I'm going to read it to you. It says, the definition of bliss is to reach a state of perfect happiness, typically so as to be oblivious to everything else. That basically means you in your lane. Every single day, I'm in my lane. I don't know who doing what. I don't look, I don't care, I don't check. I wake up every day and I say, what would I love? How do I show up in the world and be more being her, being light, being love, being God? How do I do that every single day? And just enjoy my existence. And that's what I call bliss. So this word has become like my signature word, my foundation word. My course that's launching in the next month is called the Bliss Method. My retreat that's going to be October 16th to the 20th in a beautiful mansion in Napa Valley for 21 amazing women, which launched, I think, yesterday, is called the Bliss Retreat. Because when you are oblivious to what is going on outside of you, in Kia's terms, I call it having zero fucks. I have zero fucks to give about anything that is outside of me, outside of what I am here to do, be, and create. So it's not going to stress me. It's not going to, spiral me out. It's not going to make me feel like life is not worth it. It's not going to make me feel doom and gloom about the state of the world. I'm going to choose to be in bliss no matter what you say. You can say, yes, but look at what's happening here. Me going into the pits of anxiety, stress, anger, and rage to prove to you that this thing matters to me does not serve me. Me being in a blissful state, trying to do more good than I don't do good, or do more good than I do harm, to me, that rising tide is going to raise all sails. I used to think if I didn't pop off, spaz out, show out, that means I didn't care about things. But that means that's the opposite. The energy that I don't waste on that, I can give to a different way to cause change or remembering to happen in the things that I care about. Have you designed your grandest imaginable version of yourself when she's embodied? Who is she? How does she look? How does she talk? How does she walk? How does she think? What does she like to drink? Like, you get to design her. So when shit start coming up, you want to know how you're supposed to handle it? You know what I ask myself? How does she handle it? How does she handle this? Sometimes I step outside of myself and I watch it like I'm literally watching a movie. And I say, what should she do next? How should she respond to that next? Because you always get a choice. You always get a choice in how you're going to respond in anything that shows up. I'm a believer that there's always a way forward in every single situation. I don't care how doom and gloom. We all have stories. We all have those stories that's rooted in where we came from, what it's like, what we overcame. But there was always a way forward. Somebody, something always came in and presented an opportunity or a way for you to move through it or move through it and move forward. What's going on in your personal life right now that you don't believe there's a way forward? You literally sitting in some shit right now, believing that there's no way for me to get out of this. Those of you who know my story, you know that I'm the woman who has always been faced with odds that would have made most people fold. My entire life is built on going into bliss or delusion, seeing things the way I wanted them to be until the things that I saw was exactly what I wanted them to be. Because I had many opportunities to see things for what they were and allow that to cause me to feel stuck, blocked, or powerless to the point that I could not move forward. This is it. We are over halfway through 2025. And I'm not a woman who makes New Year's resolutions because I embody and change probably every month. I'm elevating. I'm changing a belief. Oh, that belief don't feel right. That's the number one step. Do you have the power and the courage and the confidence to change a belief, some shit you've always believed, even though it's not working out to create the manifestation of what you desire? So what that means is, in regular my terms, the shit you living in, seeing, being is not what you like. It's not what you want. So that tells me that it is some things that are operating that you believe as a truth that's on autopilot for you, because you're always in manifestation mode. People like to say manifest when they experience something that they wanted. But that stuff you don't want, that you experience and where that came from, that's also your creation. So when I looked myself in the mirror and got really clear on, I am the creator of the life that I'm living, and I can't blame anybody. I can't be mad. And if I am mad at people and I'm blaming folks, then I have to quickly give myself that power back. Give myself that power back. Because do you know the truth is, nobody has the ability to have you mad. She made me mad. Did she? Did she really make you mad? Or are you reacting to something that somebody has the freedom to say or do? I hear a lot of people talk about, it's some buzzwords about creating boundaries and standing on business. I let people be who they are being. So I like to use this example, and my team always be like, boss lady, this is crazy, but they get it. So it's going to be a little crazy, but just follow me. Just follow me for a few seconds. If you are a person who like to slap a bitch, that's your go-to thing. I am the queen of slapping a bitch. You feel blissful when you slapping a bitch. You feel like you thriving when you slapping a bitch. So you like and enjoy the art of slapping a bitch. But you are with somebody who does not like to be slapped. They are standing on business. They are creating a boundary that I do not desire to be slapped. So the queen of slap a bitch is with the person who don't like to be slapped. That's only going to work one of two ways. The queen of slap a bitch is going to try their best to refrain from slapping when they with the person who don't want to be slapped. And the person who don't want to be slapped is going to feel good that they're not being slapped, but they're always going to know deep down inside that the queen of slap a bitch want to slap them in any moment's notice. So what you have to do is let people be who they're going to be. And when that no longer aligns with who you desire to be, you just keep doing the work. So if I don't desire to be slapped, I'm going to keep embodying a woman who does not desire to be slapped. And there's no way that me and the queen of slap a bitch can ever stay connected, because vibrationally, we are not even on the same frequency. So when you look at your life and it's people, places, or things that you are connected to that you no longer desire, but you are staying connected to them, one of the two parties are not operating from what they would desire to be, from their blissful state. Somebody's suppressing something so they can stay connected because this person don't like it. Wouldn't it feel amazing for the person who don't want to be slapped to elevate and embody the version of them who does not desire to be slapped, to just do the work. I don't desire to be slapped. I am a woman who does not. And then one day you just look up and you are now newly connected with a person who never in their life ever desired to slap anyone. But you know what we do? We stay connected to things that are contraindications or opposites of what we are saying we desire. And then we be mad because that person won't stop slapping. That person won't change. That person won't be what I desire them to be. But don't you get to choose what brings you bliss? So does everybody else. So the world gets to say what they want to say. The world gets to judge. The world gets to have opinions. But until you have zero fucks given and you are operating in your bliss where people's opinions, people's comments do not matter, you will always then not be able to operate in your blissful state. You got to let people have the opportunity to be who they desire to be. So let me give you a little example that's close to home, because I just peeped out the little door and I saw my husband walk past. Now, my husband loved to fish. He could fish every day, all day. He got a saltwater boat. He got a bass boat. He could go out and fish every day. That is his happy place. I don't like to be out there fishing. Number one, I get nauseous if I don't take Dramamine 3 days ahead, especially if we out on the saltwater. And two, it's mosquitoes, it's hot, it's all the things, but that's what he loves. So a lot of times we find ourselves, me saying, you going fishing again? And him trying not to go fishing because he does not want to create an argument or a fight because he wants to move the way that he desires. So you know what we decided? I said, you know what? Let me move and do what brings you bliss. And I will do the same. And you know what started to happen? we started to have like a day. We both super busy and stuff right now, so we don't really go out on the boat as much. But we started planning a day where I'm gonna go out on the boat, the bass boat, on like the lake. I take my computer. I got my little umbrella out. I'm doing emails. It's beautiful. I love nature. He fishing. I'm not aggravating him. So these are ways that you get to be able to coexist and still allow people to do what brings them joy, happiness, and bliss. Because to handcuff somebody down to being what you desire them to be, it really is not really you embodying the version of yourself who, get to choose what you love. Don't you want that for other people too? Or is that only you? You gonna set all the boundaries. People got to respect your boundaries. People got to walk on eggshells around you, but you get to show up and do whatever you love. Everybody else get the same opportunity because we are all fractals of God, operating as energy in flesh. We are all connected to the same source energy that helps us co-create the life that feels like bliss to us. That person that you can't stand on your job, that's God energy. She's God. He's God. That ex that you feel like did you so wrong, they're God. They operate as God also. That job, that manager, that whatever you are looking at and saying, I'm a victim because they did something that caused me to react, then you are not operating in your own power, because nobody should really have the ability to make you do anything. Do you really think you have that much power that you can make somebody angry? Don't they got to give you permission? Don't something that's operating in them have to connect with some shit that you said, and it got to operate as like a truth? Anytime I feel a reaction to something that's happening, whether it's something that's going on in the world, something that somebody says, something my husband or the kids do, the first thing I say is, okay, why is this bothering me? I'm picking at the scab of that, because that's going to tell me more about what's going on, where I still have limitations, where I still am leaking my power out. Because, okay, here's a good example. I'm like a parable person. I kind of teach in like examples. So I have on a green top and some blue earrings right now. Well, my skirt got blue and green in it, so that's why I got on blue earrings. But if somebody walked in this room right now and said, I hate people who wear red earrings and white shirts, I'm just talking to y'all. It goes literally over my head. It does not stick because I don't have on red earrings or a white shirt. But if somebody walked in this room right now and said, I feel like knocking anybody out who got on a green shirt and blue earrings, I'm looking like, who you talking about? Because I literally got on a green shirt and blue earrings. So what's up? Like, you talking to me? Like, because I want all the smoke, because why did that comment resonate, but the red earrings and the white shirt not cause any reaction in me? Because I identified with whatever was said as some kind of truth. I identified with having on blue earrings and a green shirt. So when somebody walked in here and say, I'll knock out anybody who wearing green shirt and blue earrings, I perked up like, I wish, okay, I perked because I identified that connected. So when you are triggered by something, when you are responding to something, when you are angry about something, when you are emotional about something, pick at the why. What's happening within you that identifies with something that person is saying as a truth? And I know what you're saying. Yeah, but they lied on me. That's why I'm mad. Because ain't nothing about that true. And they lied. So I have a right to be upset because people are lying on me. Why? They got a right to say whatever they're saying, whether it be truth or not. You also have a right to say, it's a lie. I'm not going to react. But what causes the reaction? What causes the response? My coach, Nikki, be saying things like, to reach like this ascended state of like spiritual mastery, you really have embodied zero fucks given. Nothing bothers you. Nothing's worrying you. You have no opinion, no desires, no motive. Like you're literally just allowing life to just be. And I used to be like, what? Like who can be? That's you describing Jesus basically. Like who can operate like that? I'm a spiritual being inside of a human body. So I do operate sometimes on I wish it would, like what? And she's like, because something about what is causing you to respond and give energy to that is reminding you that there's some work that needs to be done right now. And when I really got the gist of what she was saying to me, it all made sense. You are not moved and responding to shit that don't connect or hit a nerve, as the old folks used to say. That hit a nerve, a hit dog gonna holler. That's what my auntie and them used to say. So what areas are you hollering in? What things cause you to holler? What things cause you to go back to that old victim story that you ain't heard yourself saying in years? But when the pressure go through the pipe, if the pressure is pressuring enough, you find yourself, my victim saying used to be, I don't have nobody. Nobody don't check on me. Nobody don't do nothing for me. I can't depend on nobody. I might as well just do it myself. Nobody. That is no longer at all a truth in my life. I have a support system that would make the Pentagon jealous. But when I start thinking like that and talking like that, that old victim story done crept this way back up. It found an opening because something may have happened that was big or felt hard. And here she come. So this is not work that you do one time. And okay, yep. I'm spiritual. I'm working on my mindset. I'm getting rid of all my limiting beliefs. I'm manifesting a life that feels abundant. You did that one time. You did one course. You went to one retreat. You got one coach, or YouTube your coach. You reading all of you and everything that's free. Everything that costs $10 under. You in these courses. But all it takes is one thing, and it sets you all the way back off. And you mad for 3 days. You go to that job and that one person that you don't like. I hope that certain supervisor ain't here today. I don't care if she a supervisor, a sunvisor, a wind visor. She better watch how she. So when you see her, him, you've already tuned the pipe and you're ready to go off. You're ready to explode. But you remember you took that course. Remember that free class you took on how to remove your limiting beliefs and thoughts and things that make you feel angry? But you steady popping off if the circumstances are right. Because you feel justified in your popping off. It don't matter how justified we feel. If somebody does something that causes me to respond and I pop off, that's on me. My response is on me. You think you get to live in a world where nobody gonna piss you off, where nobody ain't gonna speak an opinion that differs from yours, where nobody's gonna vote different than you or look different than you or love different than you? You think you live in a world where that is how it has to be so that you can be in bliss. But the minute you got to be faced with some real stuff, you crashing out. You crash out and feel justified about your crash out. See, I am a retired crash out queen. I wrote the manual on how to crash out. It's probably somewhere in here right now. I don't know. Look how thick it is. This really ain't a manual on crashing out. But anyway, so I look back and say, how did I let that spiral me down like that? Do you know it's people in this world who only assignment is to try to push your buttons? It's little fake bots operating on these apps right now who are designed, and the program was wrote to get in your comments and cause you to feel a certain way. And here go a bot that's not even a real person, not even a human, don't have a spirit or a soul, not connected to God. And it can get in one of your comments and say this, and that. and you finna go in on it, and your whole day finna be messed up. And it's a goddamn algorithm. It ain't even real. So this work that I speak of is about me remembering that I am God energy, that I was created in the image and the likeness and the power and authority of God. The same thing that whatever you believe hung the stars in the sky, made the Big Bang Theory, created the damn planet, the animals, I don't care. Whatever you think created that or did that, that's bigger than you, that you came from, you are here to literally start to remember that I'm a part of that. And this shit get to be easy. It don't have to feel like a fight. It don't have to feel like a struggle. I do get to have a life that feels abundant and feel whole and worthy and connected to spirit all at the same time. I don't have to sell my spirit, my soul, to have whatever the world's definition of success looks like. It took me 17 years to build a $50 million firm, and then 5 years to do almost 20 by doing none of the effort, none of the hustle, none of the grind, by literally moving towards what brought me bliss. Does that feel foreign to you? Does it feel strange to choose you, to choose what you love? Why? Why? Because there's a program, there's a belief that says you are supposed to be self-sacrificing. Somewhere along the line, you believe that the more I throw myself on the sword, the more I throw myself on the coals, the more I be the wheelbarrow and the wagon for other people to carry their burdens in, I'm going to receive some kind of crown and glory or something. I don't know. But there has to be some kind of reward that we've associated with putting everything and everybody before the things that light us up. Are you doing right now what lights your soul up? For the majority of your day. So let's just think about it. It's 24 hours in a day. Let's say you're supposed to be sleeping 8. We working however many. We up however many. How many hours in a 24-hour day are you choosing something that you would love? Oh, child, I got to go to work. I got to go on in here and cook for the kids. I got to go do that. Like, do you really? Do you really? That's a belief, right? You have this belief that if I don't go and do this, something terrible is going to happen. But will it? Or will life keep going on? I launched my Bliss Retreat this week. And this retreat was designed for a woman who is exactly like who I was. She checked all the boxes. She had the success. She was doing all the things. On the outside, people thought, wow, she is so successful. She doing it. Look at her life. And on the inside, when she walked into that big ass house that she had prayed for, she felt empty, lonely, and depressed. Sometimes asking herself, if I died in here today, how long would it be before somebody found me? Who would be the first person who come knocking because they done called me a few times and I didn't answer the phone? Who would check on me? Because who checks on the strong friends, the successful friends, the ones who we believe got it all together and got it going on? Who checks on them? Not many people. Unless you're in a community like our Savage Suites, because we checking on our sisters. We making sure that they know that, look, where you are, we have been. Where you are going, we are going also. But this Bliss Retreat is going to be where you are going to be immersed in luxury. Everything about this retreat was curated. And I asked myself, what did I need when I was that woman? What did I need to feel safe to release and let go of the beliefs that I had to do it all? What did I need? What kind of space to be able to feel like I could get butt naked in the mental, perspective of it and share the things that's keeping me up at night. What kind of space did I need curated to be able to share with sisters who are also on that same path that, yeah, I did buy the Bentley a couple months ago, and the fulfillment that I got from it lasted all of a few days. Now my kids got French fries in the cup holders and cleats in the damn whatever. Because it was just a car. It was always just a car. But we attached a worthiness to accomplishing some of these things. This retreat is going to be the place where I say, baby, come home. Take off your bra, kick up your feet, walk out on the balcony of this $100 million mansion and exhale. Like literally exhale. And know that you are going into a transformational portal, and on the other side of it is going to be the woman that you have saw, you have hoped for, you've touched her a few times, but you have not pulled her in and embodied her so that it sticks. That's why it's called an immersion. For 1 year, I have planned this. For 1 year, I have prayed on this, connected to spirit on this, talked to Sugar about this, got downloads on what this needs to feel like and be like. And I basically took myself as my version of my client, my woman, and I took myself through what I would need to transform on the other side of that portal. And that is what I created. So I'm so grateful that you guys are with me in this community. And those of you who know me, y'all know that this is what it is. This is my heart. This is my bliss. This is what I love. And I am literally, I'm gonna close with this. I want to tell you this story. So, hey, right there. I'm almost done. Give me 1 minute, okay? Right there. Thank you, baby. So, I had a dream about 3 months ago. And in this dream, I was in a high-rise building. So think of it like the Empire State Building. But it was an apartment building. And on each floor of this building, I was running up the stairs. It was a fire. The building was engulfed. I was running up the stairs, and I would go to each floor, and I would run down the halls and bang on the doors. People would open the door. I'm like, it's a fire. It's a fire. You got to come out. Oh, no. I'm waiting on the fire department. They would close the door, knock on the next door. It's a fire. It's a fire. You got to come out. No. I'm waiting on my son. He going to come take me out. Close the door. It's a fire. So I did this on I don't know how many floors. You know, when you tired in your dream, you tired. When you wake up tired and you get tired in your dream, baby, you tired. And afterwards, I got to the bottom and I went out, and I might have had oh my God, I had 21 people. That is so crazy because that literally just came, because I wrote this the next morning when I woke up. And it's crazy because my retreat space just so happens has 21 people, just because the place that we're holding it at can only have 25. And with my staff and myself, 21 is the only amount of like people that we can bring in. Sugar, thank you for that, Ella. I had like 21 people. And I said, Sugar, I don't understand. Sugar, SUGA, is my acronym for what I call God, Spirit, Source. It basically stands for Spirit, Universe, God, Ancestors, SUGA. So I'm not here to give you a new religion or a new belief, but whatever you consider that, whatever you call that, then I'm tap into that. And I was talking to Sugar, and I said, Sugar, I don't understand. I ran all the way up and all the way down. I knocked on every single door, and I only got these few people. And literally Sugar said, but what I told you to do is go to the end of the hallway and just holler, fire, and keep going to the next floor. And whoever heard your voice and came out, and followed the sound of your voice, those were the ones who were supposed to go to your tribe. And that freed me. Because I really don't, look, I'm here to say this is the real life that I live. I live this real life. People who know me, they know me. But I want women, especially melanated women, to know that we need to normalize luxury. And when I'm talking about luxury, I'm talking about peace. I'm talking about feeling worthy. I'm talking about wholeness and feeling connected, because we've been pre-programmed with the grind. We pre-programmed how to go get it out the mud. Like, we got that. I'm talking about normalizing melanated luxury that has not always been printed in front of us to be inclusive for us. And so when Sugar said, you basically need to go to the end of the hall and say fire and keep going, and whoever hears it, they will come out and they gotta walk down towards the exit. There's action that you have to do to make lasting transformation, so that the things that was knocking you off your block 6 months ago, 1 year ago, are not still knocking you off of your block today. That you are not going to keep creating the same New Year's resolution 5 years in a row if you do those things and wondering why they can't stick. Because you're not transforming, you're not going through the portal, you're not embodying it. And that is exactly what the bliss everything is here to create, teach, and be. And so I am so excited for the women that are watching me. They're in my online community called the Savage Suites. The ones who are also in my channel on Instagram, the Savage Suites, and on my YouTube. Because listen, listen, when I say jet fuel, listen, I'm gonna be hollering from the jet fire. I ain't gonna even be able to go and run up and down the stairs until you hear my voice saying fire. It is moving fast. It is happening quickly. Time is only a real thing because you believe shit got to take time. Don't necessarily have to take time. So I welcome all my new folks. Hit the link, go on the site, join my free community. I have a VIP community and I also have a free community, because we are doing some things that are unprecedented. We are doing some things that are only downloads from spirit that's waking us up out of our sleep, and we running with it. And I definitely want you to be a part of the journey. I want you to be along for the ride, because baby, it's fun over here. We lit, we outside over here in the Savage Suites. And we always want people who hear the sound of our voice, who connect and something resonates as truth, to tap in. I want to, I think Eb is on here. I would love for you to, I'm going to end my live, but I'm going to let you see my Bliss Retreat trailer. So excited about that. Okay. And I made it. I'm so happy with it. So after that, I will log off, but you can find me at, my Instagram is at The Savage Spiritualist. My personal one is at Nekeya_The Savage Spiritualist. My Facebook is Nekeya The Savage Spiritualist. And I think YouTube is The Savage Spiritualist. So find me, connect with me. Listen, I'm a real down ass chick who definitely is one who want to lead as an open book. If there's anything that I can assist with, that is where I find my bliss. So jump into a container, tap in, connect, because you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with being a little savage and a little spiritual, because that's how we living over here. All right, Eb, if you hear me, you can play the trailer, baby. The Bliss Retreat is only a retreat by name. It's actually a portal. A portal for the woman who's built the brands, got the degrees, and climbed the ladder. You've been everything for everybody, and if you look way back, it's been that way since forever. Everybody sees the powerhouse, the wins, and the shine. But behind that glow up, there's a constant ache that they don't see. There's a whisper in your spirit that's saying, I did all this and I still don't feel whole. Because you weren't really chasing the bag. You were chasing the feeling that you thought the bag would bring. But what your soul is craving can't be found in doing more, but in being her. You're ready for a life that feels as good as it looks. One where you lead with spirit and experience a deeper connection to source. If that's you, and you're ready to remember who you really are, then your portal just opened. Welcome to the Bliss Retreat. All right, I love y'all. Tap in. I'll see y'all soon.